Hi folks, Rodney back again with Rodney's Northwest Riding Reviews. It has definitely been a minute since I've done a review, but I got the opportunity to do a review today on this 2024 Tacoma TRD Off-Road iForce Max. And so there is some upgrades that I'm going to kind of go over on this vehicle. Some packaging is kind of unique, and I'll explain what I mean here in just a moment. But it is a 5-foot bed. Of course, with the iForce Max, you're going to have 326 horsepower with 469 foot-pounds of torque. So you're picking up an additional 48 horsepower and roughly 150 foot-pounds of torque. I did get the opportunity to drive it yesterday. As I kind of walk around the vehicle and just kind of let you get a glimpse of it, I wanted to kind of talk about my first impressions. The one thing that you notice right off the bat, obviously when you start it up, reminiscent of that hybrid system, is that it's going to be fairly quiet when you take off at a stoplight. This hybrid system is different than most hybrid systems, and I do apologize already for the road noise. Tried to get away as far away as I could, but unfortunately I can still hear it. But the normal hybrid system has an electric motor that sits off to the side of a gas engine. Well, when they have them in the Tacoma, the Tundra, the Land Cruiser, and also the Grand Highlander Hybrid Max, that is actually sandwiched in between the engine and transmission. And so what's unique about that is it's not really designed to run around town on nothing but electricity. When you let your foot off the throttle, you can hear the gas engine shut off, and it will allow it to go on ahead and move forward. Keep in mind it's 100 horsepower, so it does have enough to kind of push it, but it's not really designed to run around on nothing but electricity. So when you look at fuel economy, it's going to give you an additional, they say in this one, it's a combined of 23. So 22 in the city, 24 on the highway. I do think that if a person was to add tires, and so I'm going to back up for a moment. I have a 2024 Tacoma TRD Off-Road, and it's just the gas version with obviously with the turbo. I've added 33-inch tires, and I saw a reduction in fuel economy. And I did the same thing on my Tundra that I had. Of course, I saw a loss in fuel economy on that. And then I had two Tacomas prior generation. I had a 2019 and a 2021. And I added KO2 tires, 33-inch KO2s on those. And I obviously lost fuel economy in those. So what I'm getting for mileage right now on mine with the gas version, that is I'm getting 18.6 miles per gallon. Now, this does have an upgraded tire, and so I'm going to talk about some of the things that they've added to this vehicle. But with that, like I said, it's rated at 22 in the city, 24 on the highway, with a combined of 23. I think if a person was to add larger tires to this, I think you'd probably see a little better fuel economy around town, and that's where you lose most of your fuel economy when you go to the larger tire. So I think that would be a benefit with the hybrid system. Now, things that they've added to the vehicle. So this is a TRD Off-Road upgrade package, and so with the upgrade package, you're actually getting parking sensors, both front and rear. It's going to have, the fog lights. Now these are an upgraded fog light. So this is the rigid fog light, and this is the same fog light that you'll find on like the Trail Hunter. You'll find it on the TRD Pro models. And I'll show you here in a moment how much extra those are on the regular TRD Off-Road model. They've added a front skid plate. So it has a TRD skid plate. So I'm going to see if I can get down here where you can actually see it. You can see part of the skid plate there, and maybe you can see it there. Oops, sorry. But anyway, they've added a skid plate. The unique thing is that because this is a hybrid version, it has that air dam on the bottom. That air dam is removable. I think there's like 8 bolts that hold it up there, and you can take that off, and then obviously if you ever wanted to put it back on, you could do so. The reason they do it is obviously to get better fuel economy, but it's kind of strange that they would put a skid plate on there and then have an air dam, which kind of defeats the purpose. These are an upgraded tire, so these are the Falken Wildpeak tires. Now, normally on a TRD Off-Road, it's going to come with the BF Goodrich terrain, I think, what are they called? All-terrain, Terrain Terra, I think is what they called. But these are a little different tire than what you get on the normal TRD Off-Road, so those are an upgrade as well. It does have the rocker rails That's normally don't come on a TRD Off-Road, and so that part's different. So let's look at the MSRP, or the window sticker here. So first off, base model is 46.6. This one does have the upgraded 14-inch audio system. Now the standard TRD Off-Road upgrade package does not have that. It will come with an 8-inch. So this does have the upgraded 14-inch. This one has a moon roof. So in your TRD Off-Road upgrade package, what you're getting is 8-way power and driver and passenger seating. You're getting leather trim steering wheel, you're getting the heated steering wheel, you're getting the upgraded JBL audio system with the flex speaker where you can take out and use it for Bluetooth. The rock protectors are $540, we talked about that. This one does have an additional 2-year connected services. So it comes standard with one. You're paying an extra $325, gives you that second year, so you have the ability to remotely start the vehicle from your phone app or lock or unlock the doors. Does have the tailgate insert, the skid plate, $560. The mini tie downs, which you'll see on most of them, are $45. The rigid fog lights are $680. And then it does have the spray-on bed liner. I have the spray-on bed liner in mine. You know, a lot of people are like, well, if it comes with a composite bed, why do you need a spray-on bed liner? I will say that I've had stuff in the back, and it doesn't tend to slide around when it has a spray-on bed liner compared to what it is on just a normal composite bed. And so that is a benefit. Now, if you get one that does not have the spray-on bed liner and you're just trying to prevent stuff from sliding around, you can get the rubber bed mat that goes in them, and that actually works really well too. All right, I'm going to show you inside the vehicle here in just a moment. It's got a unique dash. It's kind of interesting. I don't know if I like it or not. Probably not my preference. And I definitely don't have it in my Tacoma, but I'll show you what it looks like. As far as ride and handling, I've noticed that these tires feel like they're rougher than the terrain Terras that come on the normal TRD Off-Road. The one thing I will mention, if you guys get a Tacoma, double check your tire pressure. When I got mine, it had, what, 48 PSI in it, and they're recommended at 32. And I've heard other reviews say the same thing. So I'm not sure if they're just doing that at the factory to set the bead and then they don't go back and reduce the pressure on them. But I've seen several Tacomas come in with overinflated tires, and that will drastically change the ride on the vehicle. All right, you got your receiver hitch. Now, when you get a new Tacoma, in the glove box, you'll find a pin that goes in the receiver hitch. The reason they provide that, the receiver hitch, the housing is wider than what it would be normally. So if you try to use a standard pin to go in there to like go through a stinger, it's not going to work. It's not going to be wide enough. So keep in mind that you do need that receiver hitch pin that's in the glove box in order to tow something. All right, let's jump inside here. All right, this interior is different. Now, I have the Boulder, so it's a two-tone trim. So I have the gray and then, of course, the black on here. And this is just the standard black interior. Here's what I talked about that's unique. This trim. I've seen in a couple reviews early on the TRD Sports that they had like a blue trim on the dash. And this one has white. I've had a couple guys that looked at it and like, yeah, that's not bad. I kind of like that. And for me, I just think of, you know, maybe using it as a work truck. How dirty would this get? You know, if you put your hands on it, and granted, you're not gonna be touching it all the time, but I ride dirt bikes. I'm out in the woods all the time. And, you know, I get in, and so you'll see dust and stuff on the you know, door panels and stuff. Now granted, it will always clean up, but I just don't know if a person was using it to work. I don't know how this would look after a period of time. And you also have the white trim here on the doors too. Equipment, this gives you the ability to level out the lights. So if you're towing a trailer, a lot of times you have, you know, headlights to be shining off in the sky. Well, you can level them back out if the back end squats on the truck. On the hybrid models, it does have an electric release for the gas there. And where mine, it just has a little thing that you just flip it out. So electronic release on these. You do have the 110 inverter, and then of course you have with the TRD Off-Road upgrade package, you're going to get the plug-in in the back there. Do have the ability to put auxiliary lights, whether you put in a light bar or some other accessory that you're going to run. You do have additional switch placement for that. Let's start it up here. Now, I started to talk about initial impressions when I started the video, and unfortunately I don't think I finished my train of thought. Taking off from a stoplight, it's obviously your electric is going to kick in right away, and it gives you no additional power to take off. Where you really see the full added horsepower and torque is when you get out on the highway and you really step on it, and it's almost very electric. And I say that, you know, not as a pun of any sort, but it seems like it just really accelerates quickly, and it seems like it's very effortless. With the gas version and the turbo, you get a little bit of lag in the very beginning, and that has to do with the twin scroll. So on a twin scroll turbo, you have fins that can open and close, and what those are do, so when you take off at a dead stop, because typically with the turbo there's a lot of turbo lag, well, the twin scroll allows it to spool up much quicker, and you don't get the additional lag. And so what you'll feel is you'll hear the RPMs wind up pretty quick on the regular turbo version, and then those fins will start to open up, and you'll see the boost gauge start to increase and boost quite a bit. So it allows you to get off the line real quick, and allows the RPMs to build up quick, but then you don't have additional a long period of lag like you would on a normal turbo. Well, what I've noticed driving this is that when you take off at a light, there's a little hesitation where it's running on electric for a second, and then you hear the gas engine come on, and you'll notice that the turbo boost builds up quite a bit quicker with the hybrid version than what it does on the gas version. And I'm sure the mapping has something to do with that. What I have noticed with my gas version is that the turbo boost is based off a load. So, if you hit like any type of an incline or something, you'll see the turbo boost go up, substantially. And it's not about you applying more foot pressure to the gas pedal. It just seems like it's based off of the load of the engine at the time. I noticed the same thing going over mountain passes. So anyway, when you go to take off with the hybrid system, it seems like I mentioned, it seems like you get that turbo boost comes on pretty quick. And it seems to accelerate really quick. As far as features in the vehicle, you got your heated steering wheel, you got your climate control. So just like on the regular TRD Off-Road upgrade package, it does not have dual climate control. So the way to get dual climate control, you do have to step up into either a premium package, a limited package. The Trail Hunter will come standard with it, and then also the TRD Pro. But unfortunately, the TRD Off-Road upgrade package does not. TRD Off-Road upgrade package comes standard with cloth interior. As I mentioned, the 14-inch screen is an upgrade. Down here, you have of course, you got your 2 high, you got 4 high and 4 low. With the TRD Off-Road package, you're going to have the locking rear differential. Tow haul feature, drive mode. So in drive mode, if you push the button down, turn the little cogwheel here, you'll notice that it comes up on the dash. I'm going to turn this air off for a moment. All right, so you'll notice on the dash there that when you switch, it goes from eco, normal, and then of course into sport. Now, you do have crawl control and downhill assist. So crawl control is similar to, it's probably the easiest way to think of it is like a cruise control in low range. Now, crawl control, and I had this on my 2022 Tundra, works very, very well. But crawl control was only able to use it in low range. This actually works in high range too. The downhill assist